carve out clear-cut opportunities for themselves.
Well, now I'm going to bore you with something that's tactical, and that's
Never boring.
that's the fact that the Senegalese are using advantage of the fact that tomorrow.
Messina with a lovely ball through. Okabi sees it bounce, but Edouard Mendy brings it under control nicely.
Yeah, they're using advantage of the fact that Moroccans are playing one striker, so all the build-ups are being done by the centre back, like you can see now, and that forces the Moroccans to be, attentive, like you say, like they have to be spectators watching that. They have to wait for the ball to go to the side before they can press, but they can't make pressing on the central backs, like you see now. That's how they come up.
Hakimi caught back in his own half, but defensively is unyielding. Messina with a slight misstep and manages to recover in time as he gets there ahead of Jackson, and now Saibani plays it through for Ezel Zuli. It's behind Mendy when Ezel Zuli, a little too much for him to do. Niakhaté getting involved. The possession stakes are favouring Senegal slightly.
I was actually expecting it to be more than that.
Donaghy down the near side. Jackson round the outside of Messina. Ball into a danger area. Iliman Ndiaye has gone central. Lamine Camara picks out Papke. Far side. Diouf back inside. Mane under pressure. Driven back by El Khanous. Eventually, the free kick goes the way of Senegal.
Quality ball protection by Sadio Mane. That is when you talk about experience. That's when you use your experience.
Two-time African Player of the Year, Men's Player of the Year. Only two men have ever won multiple CAF African Men's Player of the Year awards and multiple AFCON titles. Those men were both Cameroonian, the great Roger Milla and the AFCON's all-time leading scorer, Samuel Eto'o. But Sadio Mane, the two-time African Footballer of the Year, stands on the brink of becoming the third man to join that very exclusive club, having won the 2021 edition with Senegal.
Yeah, of course, but he's a player that has, he has put his fingerprint. He has marked this past decade now. He's been good for African football.
Senegal again from the set piece. It's a little too heavy and it's a little wide as well. But are very comfortable to get over it. Uncharacteristic from Lamine Camara, who's usually an exceptional set piece taker.
Well, we got the
Aliou Cisse sitting alongside one of the great actors.
Looking at C from France there.
Indeed.
This is kind of like the most quiet we've seen Diaz ever since this competition started.
As fair as Mendy, challenged by Mazraoui, is successful despite going off his feet. Gana Gay just gives a little bit of time to his defence for that delightful touch. Out wide. Niakhaté. Mendy. You wouldn't believe he's getting his first start and playing in an African Cup of Nations final. Matches don't get bigger than this on the African continent.
But when look at the way he's playing. Confident. Look at his first touch.
Earning his fourth cap today. The interesting move, though, he's just signed for Chelsea from Strasbourg, but he was loaned straight back as Mane looks to run onto this, and another Saudi Arabian-based player, and Yassine Bounou comes over to shepherd that ball to the goal line.
Well, I think they might They might have been used to this duel for the past 2 years.
There is the suspended captain, Kalidou Koulibaly, one of Senegal's greats.
So far, his absence has not really shown a lot in the Senegalese side because the build-up from the back has been very good, and defensively they've been standing right.
Well, that's fair.
But these Moroccans can be tricky sometimes.
Here's Brahim Diaz, an opportunity with a little bit of space ahead of him, but closed down quickly by Ghana Gay. First real time we've seen Hakimi fly up on the overlap down that right flank. Brahim Diaz. Hakimi wants it. Brahim Diaz. Bilal El Khanous. Lenoe calls for it to go back to Masina, and indeed, he obeys. Saibari, beautiful ball from Masina, lovely. Out to space, Faiz Al-Touli. Morocco pressing and probing, but Senegal defends stoically. Mazraoui down, free kick. Morocco in a very handy position. Just beyond the half-hour mark, Morocco with a very handy set-piece opportunity.
Ooh. When it comes to games like this and you're having difficulties, sometimes set pieces could be the key that opens the gate to paradise. Because so far, it's fair to say the Moroccans have been slightly dominated by the Senegalese.
Well, Morocco have an opportunity now. As Al-Zouli stands over this, Masina and El-Kabi have a little discussion. Two tall men, both with tremendous stories of resilience that have shot to prominence and stand on the verge of history with Morocco tonight. Lenoe among those just off as Al-Zouli. Two-player wall, four line up for Morocco towards the near side. It's shipped toward the back post though, and it's comfortably left by the defence. Diouf allows that through, and it'll be a goal kick. Momentum and opportunity lost.
Yeah, it struck it to the only area ready for the Moroccans.
Sunday, to be fair though,
yeah.
I mean, Lamine Camara and Abdel Al-Zouli are both prolific set-piece takers, excellent set-piece takers. Both have overhit the set pieces that they've taken. Is that maybe a little adrenaline in the build-up to an occasion like this?
It's the occasion. Remember, I was saying it at the beginning when I said this game, it's all about the head. That's it.
A little bit of pressure here from Morocco, and that'll be a free kick to Senegal. As Lamine Camara is overrun slightly, taken quickly out to the near side, and Mendy under pressure from Al-Zouli. El-Kabi looks to provide a press on Sarr. Niakhaté, Ghana Gay, Diouf now. West Ham man is influential in attack, but it's in defence where he really stands out. Provides the feed for Iliman Ndiaye. Lenoe wins it back. A touch from El-Kabi is wide of Saibari. Bump off the ball, but Lamine Camara's recovery is exceptional. Lenoe wins it back though. Saibari with a little flair and flamboyance to wow the crowds, but still no score in this final.
This is more of what I was expecting at the beginning. This tug of war.
There seem to be a few touches that suggest that Morocco are growing in confidence now. They found their game a little more.
That should be expected as a host, and they are aware that very few hosts win this tournament.
Ghana Gay, out wide. There's Sadio Mane. An opportunity to turn on the pace. The afterburners not quite there. Came away with it through El-Kabi back to Mazraoui. Abdel Al-Zouli. Saibari.
I think you should understand the Moroccans. When does any team win finals by 6-0, 5-0?
Unless you're Hakimi's PSG. Yeah, that's right.
Really, so most cases you just need just one goal to win it.
How often that's been the case. So, buddy. Illinois, again, just providing the passing lane, opens up the field just a little. El Khanous, he's really stepped up in the absence of the injured Unai in midfield. Through ball here, Hakimi looking to run onto it. Niakhaté has read it well, and Brahim Diaz just can't get there to keep the clearance inside the field of play.
That was a defense split and pass, well played. And well thought of by the defender too.
It's taken a little touch off the heel of Hakimi, which means it's a Senegal throw. Iliman Ndiaye, meanwhile, down on the turf.
He's very important for Senegal.
Man who scored the winner against Mali, a very tough Mali side. As Senegal progressed beyond Mali in the quarterfinals. Made his debut against Morocco just over 5 years ago. This was the coming together with Illinois.
I really can't see the strike.
No, I was just wondering if it was how he felt.
Well, I think it's how he felt because I can't see the strike to the leg, to the portion of the leg that is holding, to the part of the leg that is holding.
Well, Senegal certainly don't want to be facing yet another situation in forced change. 2 suspensions mean that Habib Diarra and Kalidou Koulibaly are out. And it's a similar relationship that Ugangi had again. They came up through the ranks together at FUS Rabat, where they won the Throne Cup. They went on to win the Butola Pro before Ugangi shot to prominence as Morocco coach, and again made moves in first France and then England. Lovely ball, Iliman Ndiaye back on the park, a one-on-one. Bono looks to close him down, makes a tremendous save in one-on-one situation.
This is why he's regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Look at this defense splitting pass. He took his time, waited, eye on the ball, and used every part of his body. Look at this. Yep.
Coming into this tournament, he hadn't conceded since March last year. Only a penalty driven home by Lassine Seneyoko of Mali in the group stages has breached him since March last year. No goals from open play. And again, Bono steps up from the corner. It's low, it's flat, it's comfortably defended. And now the chance to hit in transition is Ozuri. Look to scoop it back. Sarr with a recovery. Jackson, Mane. Quick ball out to the far side. Lamine Camara brings it to the near side where Ndiaye brings it under control off the chest. The intensity rising. The level of the Rabat crowd rising as well. Gone again. Seeking options. Player of the tournament in 2019, or team of the tournament in 2019. An AFCON winner in 2021. There's Mendy. Sarr. Niakhaté. Jackson has come very deep to collect, and then the pass has gone beyond him. Sprints back into a central position. Diouf wants it from Mane, but it's gone the way of Jackson now. A little opportunity potentially in midfield. Free kick for Morocco, though, is the call. As Illinois goes down.
This was the save. Oh, unbelievable. Took his time. Well struck anyway, because the ball was low.
Long ball forward here. It's not going to be kept in play by Ezazuli, but it's a final touch of Senegal, meaning that the corner is Morocco's. Ezazuli thinks about taking it, but leaves for his players to gather in formation as they attempt to score from the set piece and break the deadlock 5 minutes from half time.
I think so far the Senegalese could be happy with what they've achieved so far.
Ezazuli. El Khanous. Ezazuli again, round the outside of Mane. Ezazuli, delivery is decent, it's there toward the back post, but it was there to be had as well by Naif Aguerd. He had stayed forward, the central defender.
That was quality play. Look at the way he eliminated the opposition here. Well played. And pinpoint precise cross. All he needed to do was keep the eyes open. You kind of get a feel as if he should close the eyes a bit. That's what made him miss the touch on the ball. We were expecting danger from Diaz, but we're getting the professor to
Let's not forget the impact that Diaz has had throughout this tournament. 5 goals in his first 5 games. All-time leading scorer in a single edition for Morocco. He's one away from equaling Ahmed Farah's on 6 goals as all-time scorer at the tournament overall for Morocco, but he has a chance to do it at 1 edition. Free kick Morocco. It's a coming together of 2 classy players in Mane and Hakimi.
For the Moroccans to dominate, they need to have the overload on the right side. And the fact that the Senegalese are doing all the attack on the left side is on their left side is forcing Hakimi to stay back. I think that's, and he has to be very careful because Mane is dangerous.
Where have Senegal looked to hurt Morocco the most tonight?
It has to be from, they're doing very well. The strength of the Moroccan side is the right side. But Senegalese is hurting them from their right side. That way they're forcing them to always think about defending instead of thinking of going forward.
Ezazuli inside the area now. Ezazuli still with a chance. Pull back. Saibari needed to hit it first time. The recovery from Lamine Camara, but the loose ball is spilled towards Ezazuli. El Enoui, Hakimi now back inside to El Khanous. They're moving the ball around with purpose. Morocco. Brahim Diaz has the opportunity perhaps to produce a moment of magic up against Diouf. And as he did against Mo Salah in the semi-final against Egypt, he denies the quality player from the opponent from having a chance.
Diouf is not letting anything go for him. But the physicality of the Senegalese, that's what will make a difference so far.
The replay has just shown the Saibari boot in the face of Lamine Camara. The Monaco man is down. The only player who's received a caution so far in this game. He was standout for Senegal when they won the African Nations Championship in Algeria. And he goes down, makes the challenge, but then it's the boot of Saibari in the air.
I think the left foot, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
there's nothing malicious about it. This is not
Unintentional. It's unintentional.
Yeah, there's nothing intentional about that.
Yeah.
Now, what we are seeing is a warm-up for Pape Matar Sarr. Ismaila Sarr as well will be among those hoping to make an impact. Sharif Ndiaye, another who could potentially come on and make a difference, but he might look to make an impact in the second half.
That was the cross that could have made the difference. Well played.
Golden opportunity with that golden Italy ball to find the opening goal in this tie. It's the final, and it's a chance to turn momentum into legacy for Morocco after that historic run at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Expectations soared, and they have a chance to produce redemption and validation and national pride all in one go in front of their fervent home support in Rabat. But for Senegal, they have the tactical intelligence, the physicality and the championship pedigree to hurt Morocco and deny them that possibility. This is not just a final.
No, and they've shown it so far, the Senegalese, that they can do it. But the Moroccans have to be patient if they want to win this. They have to be patient and wait and take their chances. But the Senegalese have to continue doing what they're doing.
Lamine back on his feet, feeds Jackson now as we hit the 45-minute mark. Delivery out to the far side, inside the area, swept to safety by Messina. Corner it'll be.
Once again, like I told you, they always go through the right side of the, through their left side, but the right side of the Moroccans. That was well played by Sadio Mane here.
Great recovery from Messina. So corner to Senegal.
That has been the secret of the success of the Moroccans so far, is that they rarely do they defend 1v1. They always have cover-ups. Back-up coming in.
Diouf. Referee is happy. Players take their positions. Oh, and as I say that, it's a coming together of Mazraoui and Jackson.
That is to be expected of a player who plays, who used to play in the Premier League.
Still on the low from Chelsea. Maybe a chance of going back on the FIFA Club World Cup win in the middle of last year. Diouf. Decent looking delivery. It's inviting ball. This time it's Al-Khabi who puts his boot through it, sends it upfield, and as Azuli chases. Morocco looking to recover, and they've done so through Brahim Diaz in possession. There's Manous, closed down by two, gets the pass into Brahim Diaz. Mazraoui. A couple of minutes now into the 4 minutes of additional time at the end of the opening half. Brahim Diaz again showing his technical qualities, although rather muted in tonight's affair.
Yeah. Well, if it's not going well in the right, I go to the middle. That's what Diaz seems to be telling us now.
Jackson with a little touch. Mane picks up position, and now Papke. Hakimi looks to close him down. And he just takes a moment, pauses, signals to his teammates, and slowing it down. And that shows the mental composure and calmness of the Senegalese players on the pitch right now.
Yeah, it also shows that they have a game plan, and he has seen in front of him that they don't have numbers in front. So he just cools him down, because it's useless going up against all Moroccans when you get along.
Fast flowing, gets the pass away, Kamara closed down. And Mazraoui showed some wonderful anticipation. And now on the counter, Brahim Diaz has a chance to break away. Diouf tries to close him down, gets the pass in now. Hakimi still going, pass into space, Saibali! Deflected away, stunned, and eventually cleared. Mazraoui is Azuli, closing seconds of this opening half. Out for the corner. Referee says there's time.
Rarely do you see such mistakes from the Moroccans. Oh, great sacrifice from the Moroccan defender. Yeah, putting out body into the ball.
So Mazraoui, exceptional block to deny Lamine Camara, and then Saibali denied on the opposite end. Hakimi takes short, delivers in now. It's sliced away by Jackson. With that, half-time is called. The referee says we are done in the opening half. No goals as yet in this final. So Barney with an opportunity late. Lamine Kamara with an opportunity late. Both sides have played their part, but no score between Senegal and Morocco here in Rabat. These two giants, one big trophy. And Africa waiting. Will it be decided in the next 45? change rooms at half-time in situations like this. What was likely discussed, and what do you think would have been talked about going forward for both sides someday?
When at such situations, that's when the manager is the most important because he has seen from outside what we're doing wrong. These are the moments where you really, get each other up and wake each other up. Someone is sleeping. This is the moment to go at them, and those are moments that are really important. The manager is most important now to not look at the strategy because he's seen the first half. Now he knows, is this what I was expecting? If not, what do I change? Our change is going to come in, and at the same time also, sometimes this is when the manager kind of like put some friendly threats and say, look, I'm giving you for 2 minutes. If you try to get us this, and then I will make a change in the hour or something like that. So, very important.
How much do senior players need to step up in the second half of a final?
Well, if you're going to be a top player, a legend, this is when in the dressing room you show it. Guys, I'm going to do this. You're going to do this. Among yourself. We've seen some teams. Sometimes they just tell the manager, no, they have time. Please stay outside because we're not playing well. So let's iron it out among ourselves. That happens a lot in Africa, by the way. So it's possible, but the halftime is most important. But I repeat once again, the managers are important now. What do they change? Who do they change? Do they change anything at all?
Well, going to be unchanged sides at the break, it seems. Moussa Niakhaté, the last player to make his way out onto the pitch, but it looked as if he was getting some strapping on his left wrist. You can see he's a very tough competitor, and he played more than one Liga match coming into this tournament. Jackson over the ball for Senegal. Jean-Jacques Ndala, the 38-year-old referee from Democratic Republic of the Congo, gets us underway in the second half. Goalless at the break between Senegal and hosts Morocco. Senegal ranked second on the continent, Morocco ranked first. They are playing in this final that yielded no goals in the opening half and no changes at the break from either manager. But Sangarese, an AFCON winner alongside. Simply put, finals not meant to be played, they're meant to be won.
That's what we used to say to ourselves back in the days. But notwithstanding, one thing we should also know that these are the two nations that have invested the most in the past decade in youth development. And we can see them now. This makes difference. This is good for other nations to know.
Senegal have had much success across all footballing spheres. Women's team has been much improved. The beach soccer remains the very best on the continent. Not to mention their successes with the youth teams as well. But Morocco could sport that as well, as you say, under-20 world champions currently. The women's and men's teams both with huge successes at senior level. The youth successes as well. Multiple finals, if not all titles on the continent.
Well, just last year, the female team lost the final here.
Are you going to remind us who they lost to?
Well, they lost it to one nation called Nigeria.
It was a come-from-behind victory for Nigeria's women's team.
No, I take it back. They lost it to one great nation called Nigeria.
You had to add that in, didn't you? I must commend you on your impartiality throughout this tournament,
except for this time, except for now.
Man, forget claiming that the final touch was off Sadio Mane. It's been called a goal kick. As Kalidou Koulibaly, suspended captain of this Senegal side, how he would love to be out on the pitch. The first man to be suspended twice in a tournament. A red card against Benin meant he was suspended for the fixture against Sudan in the round of 16. And the accumulation of yellow cards means he sits out the final as well.
Well, I think he was also injured for this final, so he was going to miss it anyway. But that notwithstanding, Koulibaly is not the youngest anymore.
But he remains one of the very best. Kalidou Koulibaly, hard as nails, a brilliant mind.
And a gentleman, huh?
He is. He's often spoken about very, very fondly, and whose story goes well beyond football, and that great story of him marrying his childhood sweetheart, Charlene Oudinot, who incidentally was born on the very same day in the very same town in which he was born. I love those little peculiarities.
That's a match made in heaven.
A match made in heaven in midfield, though. There's not one developing between Elenoe and Ghana Gay. Mind you, Elenoe and Lamine Kamara have got to know each other a lot better in this tournament already. And now it's Ghana Gay's turn.
Like I said earlier at the beginning, the midfield is going to determine who dominates this game. And so far, the midfield has been dominated by the Senegalese so far, slightly.
There's Messina. Sobadi working the ball out wide. Mazraoui. It's a through ball. Sobadi again looking to get involved. And it's eventually brought under control in midfield by Elenoe, who crosses over into the Senegal half. Mazraoui started this tournament as right back, is now playing in his more familiar left back role. Delivery in toward the back post and nodded away. It's out for the corner though to Morocco. El Kabi was hopeful that the delivery might make its way to him, but Diouf with the touch that proved unsuccessful for Morocco.
Crucial touch, no? Because I think the ball was going straight to the Moroccan. I did not make an intervention.
Hakimi, delivery, back post. It was a leap from again, but just over his head. Savani will keep it in play. El Khanous now waits for the ball back towards him. El Khanous, diagonal. Mane and Hakimi nearly coming together. And the call. There's a corner. Mane protests. Hakimi stands over this one. Elenoe just off in a pocket outside the penalty arc. Hakimi, delivery, decent looking as well, and touches the head of Messina, recovered by Ezalzouli inside the penalty area. Morocco's left, that was now Ezalzouli, skips away from two, Savani with a snapshot attempt that deflects off the shins of Iliman Ndiaye. And again, Senegal stands stoically. Savani getting involved once more in the build-up. An opportunity, square ball, cut out brilliantly by the 20-year-old Mamadou Sarr. At his first start at this Africa Cup of Nations, he has stood up remarkably. But a man who's got it in his genes.
Well, you can see from there the timing, the intelligence, the positioning. He read that well.
His father, Pape Sarr, would be particularly proud. Over 50 appearances Pape Sarr made for Senegal, including playing in the AFCON final in 2002. Free kick Morocco.
And believe me, that was back in the day when you didn't have too many games to play. So making 50 counts for the father. But this one here, yeah, I think this was a foul because he stood in between the men.
I should say Pape Sarr played at the tournament in 2002. Helped Senegal to the final, but missed the final through suspension with that red card against Nigeria. This touch from
this is the head I was saying. Crucial.
Well, Diouf's been outstanding so far, as he was in the semi-final against Egypt, where he denied Mo Salah any touch inside the penalty area. He denied him a successful dribble, and he denied him an opportunity to take a successful shot as well.
Yeah, that
was outstanding.
That was where I was very impressed with the way he was able to manage that.
Now, delivery to come. Some can't watch. We get another moment for Africa to hold its collective press. Ezalzouli and Hakimi side by side, stand over it. Ezalzouli runs over it. Hakimi will strike. Four men. None will receive as the wall stands firm and deflects off Ndiaye and away.
Well, I have a feeling it's looking as if the Moroccans have stepped up their act a bit now in the second half.
Two players warming up for Morocco. No one player in particular. Hamza Gamen, Soufiane Rahimi. It's more the attacking players, Youssef and Nasiri, who are warming up. So the intention will be clear from Regagi should he make changes. He's likely to make attacking changes, it seems. Brahim Diaz attempts to get on the end of this one, but it's recovered by Mane. Back to Diouf.
That should be intelligent. By bringing strikers, you don't disturb the defensive organization and the network you already have. in place.
Hakimi looking for Saibari, but it's picked up by Iliman Njai. Thrown forward by Mendy, little space opening up. Gallagher looks to feed Jackson, who's on the sprint. Support. I think Kamara comes forward now for Senegal. Jackson breaks away. Down he goes. It looks like Masraoui holding on to his mouth as he's down in the penalty area.
That looks pretty serious to me. It looks as if he fell on the opponent.
With that, the referee has brought a halt to play.
Well, it's a head wound, and the rule says you have to stop again. You can see that from that angle. What?
Looked like a little brush of the face in the build-up to the moment that they made contact with one another. But Tony went. Play will get back underway from a drop ball because the ball is still in play when the referee stopped the action. Niakhaté, Ganagay. Out wide. Mendy looks to combine with Iliman Njai. Now this is interesting. Hopke is just moving a little further forward for Senegal.
Yep. Trying to push the Moroccan defense further back.
Yes, Lamy. Under pressure, I know it. Free kick, Senegal.
Well, I think both teams know now that any team that scores a goal now stands a 75% chance of winning the game. Anything that scores before the 60th minute in a nil-nil encounter.
Lamine Kamara under pressure from Elenoe. Free kick goes the way of Senegal. It's taken short by Niakhaté. Mendy out wide, receives from Gana Gueye. Idrissa Gueye, more formally, but everybody knows him as Gana Gueye. Mane gets away from Brahim Diaz, unleashes the pass as well. Diouf cross into a danger area that skips past two Moroccan players. Mane in the area, a little breakthrough, dances past two, and it's cut out eventually by Naya Faguer.
Very good defending, but very good defending. The fact that they were able to double up against him, but that was a beautiful pull-out. Couldn't find the man, but Mane continued the pressure. Yeah, that was very good doubling up.
Virtually Naya Faguer sees the ball deflected away. Lamine Kamara stands over this. His last set piece was rather overhit. Niakhaté among the tall players forward. That man too, the 20-year-old Mamadou Sarr. He's never scored a senior goal at club level nor at international level. At junior international level he has. Can he change that here? Delivery in, looked decent, but again it's defended, this time by El-Kabi, and the work ball back is comfortably claimed by Bunu, who looks to send El-Zuli on his way. Saibari will keep it in play, only just. Both these sides looking to take enormous strides towards historic cup crowns. For Senegal, a chance to win two in the last three editions. For Morocco to win 49 years, 10 months and 5 days after they last claimed the crown in 1976. Bilal El Khanouch, delivery, square ball, and put wide by El-Kabi.
That was the best opportunity to score in the encounter.
And he knows it. What a
Well
play.
struck, pinpoint, just in the running path of the striker. Well played that ball.
Bilal El Khanouch, Brahim Diaz.
Oh, he didn't need to open his legs. All he had to, he didn't open his feet.
Well, Brahim Diaz deliberately left that ball. I think he knew precisely where El-Kabi was. But a delightful ball, perfectly weighted, and El-Kabi, who has the ability to score with a natural instinct,
He did not need to
He's unable
open
to
his
hit the
feet when he
target.
stopped the ball.
Yeah,
Just had to just
that's very unlike a man with such great predatory instincts. Looking for his fourth Africa Cup of Nations goal. Jackson with a flick on, Hakimi with a collision. He and Massina come together, and now Massina looks to be limping. Hakimi's asking him questions as play continues. There's a game forward. Edouard Mendy, 5 years ago, named the FIFA best goalkeeper. And up against Yassi Bono, who's twice been named Africa's best. The man who's won the Zamora Trophy in Spain for the best goalkeeper in terms of goals to games conceded. Away by Massina, nodded down. Njai back to his defence. Yakate. Galagay. Ilivan Jai under real pressure. And eventually it tells, but he's managed to win the throw-in for Senegal.
he was alone against three players and was still able to get a positive result out of that. Extremely talented player.
French-born, raised to prominence in England. Seeking a way through, three lining up. It's just over the head of Nicholas Jackson, who's marshalled by Aguirre. The ball bounces harmlessly in the area, is left to go out of play. An hour has come and gone, no goals as yet in this Africa Cup of Nations final. It's been a match of enormous intensity, and this, perhaps the most golden moment of them all, missed by El Kabi.
All you have to do, you see it? The moment he opened the foot, he put it out. He just had to keep it closed. But then the pass was well struck.
Ayoub El Kabi. Goals to just roll off his boot with fabulous inevitability. But in this final, maybe just a moment of pressure, of something. There is much at stake. The stakes are their very highest. The pressure at its peak. Poise required. Trophy on the line. And more. And more. Mane. Sarr. Back in midfield. Lovely touch by Lamine Camara again. Forward by Galagay. Back to Diakate. Released quickly under pressure on El Kabi. Sarr. Mendy. Back with Diakate. Diouf. Goes by El Hadji Malik Diouf these days. Brahim Diaz. El Kabi. Chance now. El Kabi closed down. Still alive. Back post and swept wide. How is it not happening for Morocco? They can't believe that these opportunities are not being put away.
Great run by Diaz here. And he played him at the right moment. Yeah, the first touch was good. Oh, that was really close. But great defending, putting the body in between the man and the goal.
And then second chance.
Totally missed it. Totally missed it.
Well, Kabi knows that he's missed a couple of glorious chances. He's not the only one who recognises that. Head in hands moments. A few fuming words as well from Adam Massina out of screen. In your screen there, the CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, watching on. It's a tournament that he's witnessed almost every game. His travels have been immense and intense. but he finds himself having overseen a tournament that has witnessed 120 goals so far, the highest scoring Africa Cup of Nations tournament ever.
It's been impressive, the quality of the game. Don't you think the infrastructure has something to do with it?
It's been outstanding. Again, I can't say enough about the quality of these pitches. And it really has seen the cream rise to the top. Africa's top two teams in the final, and it's no mistake. It's no upset. It's no surprise, given the quality of these pitches. Yassine Bono in goal, managing to inch his way towards a record 6th clean sheet in a single edition and a 12th overall. Edouard Mendy in goal for the Senegal side, looking for his 11th clean sheet and a 5th in this tournament. That ball just ahead of Diouf, unable to keep it in play. It'll be a throw into Morocco, though, right near the corner flag, so Senegal can stay high. Off the side of the boot, and that might work out kindly for Senegal. It nearly does. Mazraoui with the ball cleared away, picked up by Mendy. Mazraoui, though, with a grand interception, gets the pass away. Ezalzouli, El-Kabi, back to Ezalzouli. He's got pace, but he's got Mazraoui on the overlap as well. Space for El-Khanous. Brahim Diaz in behind him, looks for Hakimi, and that's delightful. Morocco, flamboyant, fast.
Beautiful counter-attack from the Moroccans. Each run was ahead to man with the ball, and that made it possible for it to be fluid. Look at this. Every run is in front of the man with the ball.
The unmistakable Rabat roar. We're just about 20 minutes down in the second half. No goals as yet, but Morocco believe. The fans believe. They stand up for the corner. Hakimi wants to take it. Aguerd waits.
This final is on now. No more waiting. Everybody, both teams are not trying to win it.
Back post and nodded over by Diouf. Out for the corner it goes again. Diouf stays down. Oh, and this looks to be a nasty injury. A clash of heads. Medical attention is racing onto the park. El-Khanous.
Oh, this is direct head-to-head. Ooh.
Nearly
direct head-to-head.
Oh.
Really struck it. Oh, and the one taking it from behind, normally, this is the one that is hurt the most.
The likes of Soufiane Amrabat and Roman Saiz, among those watching the replays, are anguished by what they've seen. It's a clash of heads, and again, nothing malicious. This is part of play. This is what can sometimes happen.
No, not malicious at all. He was going for the ball.
Clearly.
Clearly, and there was no way you could see the... No,
Two players simply going for the same ball.
Oh, yeah.
Diouf with the clearance under pressure. El-Khanous showing his courage in trying to reach that ball first. This also sums up the physical intensity of this game.
We need both of them to stay on. This game is not easy. We will have changes, only the changes that tactical changes by the managers, not of this. Oh, you see here now, this is... Wow. Oh.
El-Khanous.
Well, it's one seems to be looking okay.
Diouf is sitting out.
Yeah,
El-Khanous is still receiving a great deal of medical attention. And it seems as if we are going to have some changes. El-Khanous, though, has played every minute of this tournament so far. He'd be among the last players to want to leave the pitch. Mendy, though, might have spotted something and comes over to discuss that very point with his coach, Cho. He's run 50 meters to have this discussion.
Now, this sums up the Senegalese team. the relationship with the manager and the players. The time they took and the way they were, I was just looking at them, the way they were talking to one another, there's mutual respect and confidence in the manager.
Royal Moroccan Football Federation President Fouzi Lekja watching on. He's overseen much success in Moroccan football.
Oh, this is...
It's a clear coming together, but again, nothing malicious. It was simply two players attacking the same ball
in a final, so you can imagine the intensity.
Senegal, side that are looking to continue their incredible run. This is their 18th match since the Africa Cup of Nations final in 2019. They've lost exactly none of their AFCON matches since going down to Algeria in the 2019 final. Morocco, though, are a side unbeaten for effectively 2 years in international football. This is their 27th match in succession in which they're hoping not to be defeated by their opponent. 2 draws and 20. They round out the win. That would not only secure them another notch in that tremendous unbeaten run, but indeed perhaps the greatest glory for this golden generation. The good news is, he's sitting up. Man who's earning his 13th cap tonight, but it's his 7th appearance in this Africa Cup of Nations tournament Sunday. It means he's played over half of his international career in this tournament alone.
That's very impressive, and almost in the same stadium.
Yes, true.
Because they played 7 games here.
We got 20 minutes to go to the 90-minute mark. There is still much football to be played. Play will get back underway from a corner kick to Morocco. Well, it seems as if they are going to have to make a change. Morocco, heavily bandaged, is Neil El-Ainoui. But he is sitting up. There will be head injury assessments done on the player. Certainly hope.
I hope for the young man that he can continue.
It's looking not quite as promising as he would like. The medical team just looking around. There's still a little uncertainty. Senegal are going to be the first team to make the change, though, and the change that they're going to make is a very exciting one. In Ibrahim Mbaye, who turns 18 next Saturday. He'll be making his way on shortly. Now, he's plugged through the bandage. And again, the medical attention required. The Roma man.
That is not looking too good, I must confess. Yep. He might need some stitches.
Again, just in the build-up to that, though, I mean, El Hadji Malik Diouf, who goes by El Hadji Malik Diouf, not to be confused with El Hadji Diouf, yeah, the very first Senegalese player to be named African Men's Footballer of the Year, and who's in attendance, sitting in amongst the African legends, some European legends, some world legends, and indeed a couple of actors as well. Idris Elba, Omar Sy, African roots, two very fine actors indeed. Idris Elba in a host of roles over the years, and Omar Sy in one of the most watched foreign movies of all time. There's Ibrahim Mbaye. Now, this man's a star in the making. His coach knows it, so does his clubmate in Ashraf Hakimi, the opposition captain tonight, who has taken the young Mbaye under his wing. Now, this is a good sign in the sense that El-Ainoui is simply replacing his blood-stained jersey with another match jersey.
That means he's continuing.
And that sums up his will, his ambition, and it sums up this tournament as well. Among these players are some of the continent's wealthiest athletes. But tonight, in this fixture, one match, one team has a chance to achieve what money can't buy, and that is belonging its legacy, its identity, and maybe a shot at immortality as well.
The only way you are a national hero is when you bring trophies back home. Not by winning titles in the club sides.
Now frustration starting to boil over. Messina down on the turf, and the referee, it seems, has some work to do. I can tell you in the meantime that Maya's been pulled back. Ismail Assar and Abdullah Sek have been called forward by Pak Cho as well. Seems his changes are going to be three-pronged. No. Jackson and Messina getting to know one another a little better.
That's been going on. That's been going on pretty almost the whole game. We saw them already in the corner kick earlier on.
From the corner, steered away. It'll be recovered by Morocco, who chip it toward the back post. It'll be left. That's great communication from Mendy. He called leave loud and clear. Illinois wants to continue.
I thought he had changed his jersey earlier on.
He's going to make his way back on now. And it's a rousing, heroic welcome as he makes his way back onto the park. Here's Jules, who continues to make impressive clearances. The referee, though, says that's not taken from where I expected it to be taken from. Everyone turning around and asking questions, including Mendy. He now takes it back. There's Ismail Assar. Behind him is young Ibrahim Bai, whose mother is of Moroccan descent. This might be one where sentiment needs to be put aside in the family for just a few minutes. 45 minutes, big bump in midfield. Referees this play on Ayef Aguerd and Nicholas Jackson coming together. Here's El Khanous, can't keep it in play. 15 minutes to the 90. Senegal look like they want to make the changes.
I won't be surprised if we're taking off Jackson.
So, the changes to come. Abouyele Tom is standing by. The fourth official holding up his board. Abdoulaye Seck is going to make his way on for Mendy, who earned the start today in the absence of the unwell Crepin Diatta. Another change, we'll see Lamine Camara make way, and on in his place Ismail Assar, the 27-year-old Crystal Palace man who's not unfamiliar to winning titles, having won the FA Cup and the Community Shield with Crystal Palace, and victories over Manchester City and Liverpool. And Iliman Ndiaye is another player making way. This is maybe the questionable one in the sense that he's been putting a lot of pressure on the Moroccan defence, but a star in the making in Ibrahim Mbaye makes his way on.
I'm pretty surprised that Ndiaye is going off.
I was with you. I was thinking Jackson too.
Yeah.
In your head, you get a sense. Jackson now with a touch, brings it out towards Mane. Hakimi and Mane come together, ball out of play. Senegal throw. Sadio Mane. Free kick to Morocco. Called by the assistant referee on the near side, Gilam Gila. As referee trusts him. He puffs on the whistle to signal free kick to Morocco. Gabi back on his feet straight away. Now to the far side, Mazraoui. Little flick on. Decent looking ball in towards Ismail Zuli. Back with Mazraoui. Happy to maintain possession here, Morocco. Messina and Aguerd, side by side, passing the ball between one another. Under pressure now from Mane and Jackson. Messina. It'll be a free kick to Morocco, though. As Mendy, he played his part. He had a grand old role today. He did a man who's spent much of his time at Nice.
I've been actually impressed with what he's done. I think he's played very well.
That's Oussama Tarkhalin. He's going to make his way on shortly for Morocco, it seems. Youssef Nesiri as well has got the match day jersey on, and that might spell the end of El Kabi's evening. A few opportunities that he would love to have again. And such is the nature of the sport, and that will not happen. Brahim Diaz. Sorry.
Totally understandable, because
Hakimi, corner Morocco. Pressure down the right.
I was saying totally understandable, because at this moment now you need to bring in strikers. You need to try to turn the tide now. None of these teams who want to play go to a penalty shootout, believe me. So I think the offensive option is what they'll be looking at doing now.
Morocco want to make the changes here, and El Kabi is going to make way. Can't add to the 3 goals he scored at this tournament. 3 stunners, 2 spectacular overheads. He makes way for En-Nesyri, who is looking to score at 5 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. Oussama Tarkhalin makes his way on for Bilal Al-Khanous. The Stuttgart man on loan from Leicester City is off. Tarkhalin of Rotterdam Club Feyenoord in the Netherlands makes his way on, earning his 11th cap. A fine midfielder. Play to get back underway from the corner, and again there's a little niggle between Massina and Popke. Hakimi prepares to feed. Back post, there to be struck straight at Mendy, no harm done. Edouard Mendy bringing this under control.
Yeah, directly. I mean, not a bad idea to hit it directly. That could get the element of surprise. But with En-Nesyri coming in, you can be rest assured that the Moroccans now are going to try to use the finishing touch of pull-outs. Crosses. They're going to put in so much crosses in now.
Well, that's what you want. You want that aerial presence. Some of those grand-headed goals of his over the years against top teams like Spain and Portugal, even at the World Cup. Delivery here, head towards Jackson, and the pressure is Hakimi a little. Up for the corner it goes, or throw it goes, right near the corner flag.
No, that looks more like a throw-in.
Yep. Call is a Moroccan throw. Sadio Mane.
I think the delay by the linesman to decide where is creating a lot of uncertainties.
I think he got it spot on though, the assistant on the near side.
He did, but the delay, that's what's causing the uncertainty.
Bono brings it under control. Elenoe. Well, if you sum up battle and resilience, that's that man Elenoe tonight. He's the poster boy for resilience that Morocco have shown. Free kick to Senegal, but it needs to be taken from where the infringement occurred. When do the players start thinking about the possibility of extra time?
Well, believe me, there's so much to do, you don't think of it. Normally, you don't really think about it. You kind of like, especially in the final, it falls on you.
Morocco haven't lost a competitive match at home since 2009. And to put that into perspective, the likes of Rigobert's Song was still playing when it happened. Rigobert's Song in the lineup for Cameroon on that evening in Fez when they defeated Morocco 2-0. I think it was Eto and Akilewebo who scored, if memory serves. And the last time Morocco lost a competitive match at home, Senegal know they're up against it. For all their successes, it's still been nearly 18,500 days since they last won the Africa Cup of Nations.
50 years, huh?
That's a long time. Delivery is too strong. Away by Hakimi, who goes down under a push from Mane, and free kick goes Morocco's way. Sprawled on the turf is Hakimi,
Smart,
but he won't mind.
smart play. Not a bad cross anyway.
Just going to say, I mean, for a 17-year-old Mbaye to get there and then deliver shows some promise as well.
Quite impressive.
And if you're not familiar with Ibrahim Mbaye, got a chance to see him playing some youth football. The youngest ever player to start a match for PSG. He was even younger than Warren Zaïre-Emery, who was only 16 a few years ago when he was at the time the youngest. But he's played in a few finals, but he's been involved in a few finals without necessarily getting on the park as well. He was an unused sub in the UEFA Champions League final against Inter as PSG won. He was in the Coupe de France final a week earlier as well. As they won, he didn't play, but he was the youngest player to ever win the Super Cup when he came on against Tottenham Hotspur in August last year. I think he betted Ryan Giggs' mark. But what I'm saying, Sunday release is that he's 17. He's already won Liga, Coupe de France, FIFA Intercontinental Cup, UEFA Champions League, and the UEFA Super Cup.
And it's just at the beginning.
He's not yet 18.
It's not 18 yet, but that's what you get when you play for top sides like Paris Saint-Germain in France.
Here's Brahim Diaz, top player as well. Quality all round, leading scorer in the tournament, looks to provide. It's worked away by Sarr and nicely towards Mbaye, who flicks on, but pass incomplete. Targelin now under pressure from Jackson. Mane comes striding through, gets past Elenoe, sees the space, opening up. Mbaye is calling for the ball to come his way. Closed down by Mazraoui. A loose ball, pounced in first time, but dragged wide of target. An opportunity gone for Senegal as Pape fails to hit the target.
Well, the pass to open play by Mane was really important here. That was decisive. Oh, he was already falling backwards when he struck the ball. So.
Well, this is one of those matches that is filled with entertainment and quality without necessarily producing any goals. Now, Masina, this doesn't look good for Masina. Hakimi saying, time to change the player.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to make a defensive switch. Adam Masina down. Like El Ghabi, who has just been substituted off for Morocco. When you consider their stories, El Ghabi, who rose from a carpenter's bench when he left school at 15 to become the great penalty area predator that he is. He built his dream with calloused hands, trying to support his family. And he's chasing glory for Morocco tonight, and for Messina as well, as El Yamik gets the jersey on. A man who suffered great loss when his mother died shortly after he was born. He was displaced. He has suffered disappointment. He was given a second chance by being adopted in Italy, and now he's providing leadership and defensive steel for a Morocco side on the brink of something glorious. He has crossed continents and identities, and now he's part of this composed heart that has not seen a goal in open play in 10 months of international football.
Unbelievable.
I mean, different journeys, but same destinations for so many players. And I can say the same about Senegalese players. I mean, when you consider consider Sadio Mane played barefoot ball on the Bambali streets in years gone by, and how he's now risen to lift an entire nation, has gone from breathing to resistance into destiny, and he's shared his success so marvelously with all around. He's built schools and hospitals and mosques, post offices, other infrastructure as well, and provided such hope for communities. So the substitution takes place. Adamasina off injured, the Torino man, and he leaves the field with a face that tells the story of massive disappointment. There are tears in his eyes. On in his place, Jawad El Yamik. Roman Saiz still sits. Came into this tournament with a bit of an injury. And struggled with that injury in the opening game.
That should be expected. It's been a full month, a whole month.
Jackson overruns it slightly, pulls it back and by, with a chance here for Senegal. By Bruno, with arguably his best save of the tournament, somehow reaches one that was destined for the top corner.
So that was great play from Bai there. The way he was able to outmaneuver the opposition and put it on his left foot was well played.
Well, his mother might come from Moroccan stock, but he is not in any way sentimental, it seems. Proudly representing Senegal and just inches away from giving Senegal a late lead in this game. Look at this. Back line, Morocco for a chance as Al-Souli, tight angle, hits it wide. Under very, very solid pressure. Abdoulaye Seck driving him wide.
Both teams trying to win this now. They don't want to go to the extra time and they want to try to knock it in, to knock it. Not too far out if you look at it once again, especially this one. Oh, this is great goalkeeping by Bono here.
Justin Bono hasn't had many saves to make, but those he has made have been stellar. 2 tonight. That full stretch. Right boot to deny Ndiaye in the first half, and then this one to deny Ibrahim Mbaye in the second half. Giving Morocco in this final. 8 minutes of additional time as we hit the 90-minute mark in the stadium. Still, the Rabat crowd is roused. Senegal pile forward. Timely touch from El Yamik. Steers the ball away from danger. 2 players were waiting behind him. Jackson and Mane.
If he didn't touch that ball, I think it was going to be wrong.
Corner kick. Illinois continues to battle away.
Well, it's kind of like the Senegalese are really piling up the pressure now, trying to make the difference now. I think they are taking a little more control of the game. Could it be that finally, physically, the Moroccans are struggling? It looks like it.
It's been a long old tournament. Is there some success for Senegal to come later on? Morocco wins 120 minutes in their semi-final against Nigeria. Senegal needed 90 to beat Egypt. Delivery, Woodward, get it in! Senegal with a goal! Sensational for a moment. The referee signals wait. Was there a push? Was there a shove? Seck with a header. It was eventually deflected in by, I think, Ismail Assar.
I think that was a push.
That is going to be called back and not allowed. The foul on Hakimi. And the referee calling it correctly, it seems. Senegal in disbelief.
As is to be expected.
Abdoulaye Seck with the foul. Well, he was part of the side that won in 2021. There are 10 members of that squad here, but remember he was injured very early in the tournament. Couple of substitutions now, and it's a interesting one in Jackson making way for a man who scored twice off the bench this tournament in Sharif Ndiaye.
this particular change could be decisive because the Moroccans seems to be struggling for the first time in the whole tournament defensively. And bringing in fresh legs, as I was expecting it earlier on, will do the damage.
Ismail Sabani is going to make way for Morocco. And the man making way is bringing on a birthday boy. Anas Salahuddin turns 24 today. They are teammates at PSV, but now they exchange places. Anas Salahuddin on his birthday with an opportunity to win a continental crown 50 years on from his country's last. Oh, can you imagine the birthday celebrations? That would be one of the great stories. Mendy steering it away. I mean, he's another whose story is one of tremendous resilience. He was standing in unemployment lines a dozen years ago when he was released by a lower tier French club, and now finds himself as one of the very best, not only in the continent but in the world. Maybe a chance for Morocco. Pressure piled on, delivery it towards it. Nisari steering away to safety. Was there Nisari flirting with an offside line, but Salahuddin looking for the dangerous striker, now Turkish-based.
It's difficult to see from that angle if it was an offside or not.
He was certainly right on the line. The assistant referee has been accurate throughout this tournament, though. Calls it as a corner. Final minutes here. Opportunity to feed. Back post. Steered away by Diouf. Kept alive, though. Tarkhalid. Hakimi. Salahuddin wanted it. El Yamik finds El Ainoui. Now Brahim Diaz turns on a moment of magic, but that's a little too heavy. 3 minutes of added time remain.
I wonder what Diaz is complaining for.
I think he's feeling there was a touch that saw it fly over. Well, this is the earlier attempt.
Well struck, really.
Oh,
Okay.
he was calling for the penalty appeal.
I think it was calling for
Now, that's going to be looked at, I'm sure. Brahim Diaz, meanwhile, is making noise. The referee is not allowed play to get back underway, so I think it is being checked.
Okay, that's what Diaz was angry about because I didn't see anything
No,
wrong with
yeah,
that.
I think you're right. I was trying to figure out what he was upset about. But that replay,
Now, this could be a turning point in this game, Dwayne.
very much so. Now look at the incident again. Oh, Diouf, arm around the neck, and the referee will go have a look. We are going to see a penalty check. We are 90 seconds away from full time. Brahim Diaz has been tugged off the ball, but does the referee believe that this was a foul? I am finding it very difficult to argue against that being considered anything but.
Me neither, because it looks like there's a tug done behind the neck over the shoulder.
Well, a man who could do no wrong in the semi-final, Elhaji Malik Diouf, might just have given Morocco an opportunity to claim it late on here. Referee still at the monitor. Behind him is all sorts of chaos and drama. Two technical teams coming together as he looks at the replay again and again. He's made his decision. This could define history. Penalty! Robert roars! And to be fair, I don't think that's the wrong call. I think the referee's got this right.
Neither do I. You could see the hand, the tug, and the neck over the neck and over the shoulder. There was a push. There was a pull away that obstructed and that stopped the player from going to the ball.
Senegal in danger of closing out a fourth successive final without scoring a goal at the Africa Cup of Nations. The only other team who's done that was Cote d'Ivoire, but they played in the fifth final in which they scored, and that was just 2 years ago. Yellow card coming out for Ismail Assar, who protests vehemently. But imagine the pressure now on the penalty taker.
Tell me about it.
I mean, you've got the weight of 50 years on your back when you step up.
Well, there's no rush. Such moments, the better penalty that's been given to you, and it's going to go to your team. All you have to do is be patient, be calm. In fact, I don't see any reason why the Moroccan players are already in the box.
So Diouf has been cautioned now, and this is the moment that might very well have decided this final, this tournament. There are multiple discussions between players who know one another rather well. There are scuffles in the crowd, and security is needing to deal with an issue on the opposite end of the park. In the meantime, Bono has had to come out of his goal with a little chaos behind him, but the players discussing a moment that might prove pivotal.
This is actually not good for the penalty taker, and this is also not good for the image of this competition so far. Because it's been a...
So play will get back underway. From a penalty to Morocco, Edouard Mendy is still shaking his head. A man who's playing as part of a Senegal squad in the final again, having won it in 2021. He wasn't part of the team in 2019 in the final because he broke his finger earlier in the tournament, Edouard Mendy. Pop Char, meanwhile, is appealing for a little calm. He and Dragage come together. There are some heated discussions, shall we say. These are two coaches who have led their respective teams to remarkable success. Dragage has transformed Moroccan football, and he has a chance to claim his crowning glory here. Meanwhile, it seems the players are being called off the park.
I think they should be very careful here, because in such situations, you could get sanctions that you might lead to regret. These are moments where one has to be calm, and as players or as managers, you should not provoke or create and make the situation even worse.
There is an incident in the periphery. It is seemingly seen as a security concern, and the players are being asked to leave the pitch. There are still heated words being exchanged. There is much indecision. Achraf Hakimi, meanwhile, is over trying to separate players and coaches, showing that calm heads can prevail. But where we have come to, well, The Moroccan fans can't wait for this moment, but it might be a while yet before it happens. The players are not on the park at the moment, bar a few in and around the penalty area from Morocco. The referee waits, it seems, for indication from the general coordinator as to how this match might progress.
Well, the rule says now the referee is no longer in his hands. He has to now wait.
That's the moment again.
Now let's look at this. There is some pull. Of course, you cannot deny that there's a contact. There's a pull.
Well, the indication is, would that be a foul outside the 18-yard area? I would suggest a good 99 out of 100 times it's going to be called a foul. If it's a foul in the penalty area, it is a penalty. That is what the referee has decided, a penalty with only a handful of seconds remaining in added time. There are about 90 seconds remaining in added time, to be fair. So it's not quite the last kick of the game, but it does provide Morocco with an opportunity to finish it up from the penalty mark potentially. Now earlier, Senegal had the ball in the back of the net, and it was disallowed because of the contact that Sek made on Hakimi.
Yes. And you can see the outstretched arm that got Hakimi off the way. And in this other action here too, you can also see the outstretched arm of the Senegalese player also pulling the Moroccan player down. So now the question is it decisive enough to have impeded the progression of the player? That is for the referee to decide. And that's why he went to the VAR to check that out.
Well, the respective coaches are on the field of play for now. Regragui and Cho, they're making their way off. The referee is ushering them to the sideline. And they look to be an embrace between Hakimi and Cho. And now Hakimi is looking to keep Regragui away from Cho. As they come towards the centre line, again, Hakimi is looking to try to prove peacemaker, it seems.
The managers have to stay calm. The managers have to keep the players calm.
Well, from a Senegal perspective, the players might feel aggrieved in the sense that they had the ball in the back of the net, it was disallowed, and then they had the clearance. It's been overturned and called as a penalty. You can understand where frustration might build from, but I don't believe the decisions were incorrect. I believe it was spot on.
Either you are. That's the advantage you have to do of the VAR. It is not as if there was nothing, there was no contact at all.
Now the players are again being called from the park. Senegal are marching off. They're going into the tunnel.
Now that is something I would advise them to do. Against the directives of the referee. That is something, if they have to go to the tunnel, it has to be a decision that the officials have to take.
This is also not how you want to see an AFCON career potentially end. Sadio Mane stays and chats to a man who's coached at this tournament more than any other, Claude Lehar.
No, this is a shame because it's been a wonderful tournament and we don't need it to end like this.
Mane in discussions with senior executives. The remainder of his teammates, bar a few, are in the change room already. The Moroccan players are out on the pitch. Sadio Mane, there are appeals for Sadio Mane to keep Senegal on the park, I suspect. He's calling his players back. He's calling his teammates back.
Well, I will strongly advise caution here because this is not going to help because of the Senegalese. And furthermore, the penalty is not scored yet. So you don't know what will happen now.
Edouard Mendy is a great penalty shot stopper. He's a phenomenal goalkeeper. And Sadio Mane, The man who's got 20 goal contributions across 29 starts at an Africa Cup of Nations, 11 goals, 9 assists, and a man who has started more Africa Cup of Nations games than any other. Paptior is telling his players to get back onto the park.
Oh, Sadio Mane started. Sadio Mane asked the players to come back onto the pitch.
And that's leadership.
That's leadership, and not sometimes you don't necessarily have to wear the captain's band to be a leader, and that's what he's shown here.
Credit though to Ghana Gay, to Ismail Assar, and to Abdoulaye Seck. They've remained on this park. They have not left.
This is why Sadio Mane is known worldwide, because of intelligence and the ability to stay calm. This is a man who's been through a lot of challenges in his playing career.
Well, he's a man that just continues to remind us of all the incredible things that you can do when you have success. Alhaji Diouf, the word to Sadio Mane. Alhaji Diouf, the first Senegalese player to win African Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
Sadio Mane has since won it twice. But this is a man who continues to prove as well, and I think he's going to go and fetch his teammates from the change room.
Yeah, that is.
He continues to inspire, and he continues to remind us that value doesn't lie in titles, it doesn't lie in money, it doesn't lie in applause, it lies in the courage to rise from the humblest beginnings and carry as many people along with you on your way up.
I think Sadio Mane is a hero. He's an example that people should can imitate. Now, when you see a player like this go, like the teammates are coming back onto the pitch now, if the referee blows a penalty, the rule says you have to respect the decisions of the referee. Furthermore, the penalty is not been scored yet.
You can understand the frustration, but it is certainly not something you want to see. When we expected drama in a final, we did not expect this kind of drama. This is a chance for Africa to shine and maybe a little gloss off the evening. Sure, we'll watch on.
They should stay calm now.
It looks like Edouard Mendy has been cautioned here for his little cynical bump on Anas Saleh. So a yellow card for Edouard Mendy. Well, and a yellow card for Saleh as well. Now, I don't want to make a tongue-in-cheek comment here about potential extra time, but we've nearly seen 120 minutes go by. We're just into the 112th minute now.
Well, what the referee will just go back to, that's why you have the fourth referee there. They'll go back to the minutes that were left. The time that was left before the game was stopped. And based on that, that's what it's going to do now.
Now, Nesiri and Brahim Diaz are having a conversation. Nesiri, with a chance to become the only Moroccan player to score in 5 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, has handed the ball to the tournament's leading scorer, Brahim Diaz, who lines up. Brahim Diaz, who scored in 5 successive matches to start against Comoros, against Mali, against Zambia, against Tanzania, and against Cameroon in succession. Brahim Diaz, tournament's leading scorer with 5, up against Edouard Mendy, the focused man from Real Madrid, up against Al Ahly goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, the Champions League winner in Europe and in Asia, and a winner of AFCON in 2021 edition. Edouard Mendy is just signaling something to the referee, and Sadio Mane has come over to have a discussion. And seems to be something going on. Brahim Diaz remains focused as ever. Mendy backtracks. Brahim Diaz replaces the ball. And now, perhaps, the final to get underway again. Brahim Diaz to give Morocco the lead. Chips up Anenka down the middle, and humiliatingly, Mendy saves it. Stays on his line, the opportunity gone, and maybe now we are going to go to extra time. Robert roars and erupts, but for a very different reason than the one they considered they might.
Now this is how do you explain this? At such a moment, this is not a time to try to play Panenka.
He looks crestfallen. Brahim Diaz, who's proven nothing but heroic throughout this tournament and throughout qualifying. He's missed the magic moment when it counted most to produce a potential winner. With that,
I must confess that I am totally shocked because such a moment to play a Panenka is something that you hardly ever see.
So goalless after 90, we will have extra time in this final.
Unbelievable scenes. I can't even believe what my eyes have just seen, what I've witnessed in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Brahim Diaz with an attempted Panenka with the last kick of the match. Teko Murise, these are your things in your playing days. But I don't know, even the great Teko, would you have had the courage to try that? As Edward Mendy says, thank you.
I wouldn't, especially with the controversy that was surrounding the penalty. Look at how many minutes it's taken for penalty to be taken. And this is a player that is, a leading top goal scorer. He's been doing great within the tournament itself. This is a moment that you need to be a hero in your country. And then you do that. I'm sure the coach is gutted because you could see the way he spoke to him. There's an opportunity because I thought El Nazi was going to take it because the last when it went to penalties, he took the winning penalty. But then again, you see this and then you get so disappointed.
It would have been the 50-year anniversary of the Panenka because Antonin Panenka back in 1976 won the European final doing that, and Brahim Diaz was like 50 years later with the 50th anniversary of Morocco to win the Africa Cup of Nations tries the same thing, guys.
First of all, it's a very big controversial game, and in this kind of game, it's just 1 minute to finish the game. You don't try this; you just have to hit it hard and win the game.
Solomon, have you ever seen it?
No. It's funny to me. I thought Hakimi will be the one taking the penalty, but there's still minute to play. Let's see.
Let's get back to our commentary. Wow.
The atmosphere here is no longer electric. It is tense. The second half is done. We're into extra time now, and it remains goalless in this final. Failing to convert as his unit is down. Referee signals free kick. Lost the ball over the top. Mendy should deal with, allows it to bounce, brings it under control without much fuss. Edouard Mendy. Well, he won AFCON in 2021 with Senegal, where he was standout. He won the UEFA Champions League with Chelsea. He won the Asian Champions League with Al Ahly, claiming his first ever continental crown just last year, where in fact he beat Yasin Bono and his Al Hilal side in the semi-finals.
Well, Mendy is one of the best goalkeepers ever to come out of Africa. But then again, more football for us.
Look at the positives, Sunday, when he said.
That's what I'm trying to do, bro. More football for us, and hopefully now we'll get a winner that nobody will have to, a disputed champion. Undisputed champion, sorry.
Oh, how wonderful will that be? The referee's whistle sounds again. Free kick to Senegal. Just running through Abdoulaye Seck, birthday boy, Salahuddin. There's the danger man twice. Sheriff Njai has managed to score off the bench in this tournament in 3-0 wins over Botswana and Benin. Looking to make it 3 off the bench for Senegal this tournament. Niakhaté, back to Sarr.
Now, talking about football, I've been really impressed with Sarr. The way he's been able to manage this game today, it's unbelievable.
Offside flag raised against Njai, returning from an offside position. Morocco still believe that they can claim this title, but it's a little more muted now in the complex sportif Prince Moulay Abdallah. That missed penalty has changed the complexion of this tie. Brahim Diaz needs to lift himself, as he's so often done. There is still time. There's still opportunity. Bai wins it back from Targhalin. Elanoui now wide. Hakimi, the captain, has it now.
Well, like we said at the onset, it's all about psychology. How strong you are mentally. This is it now.
And here's a man who's got all the mental strength in the world. Maybe lost a yard or two of pace, Sadio Mane, but he inspires an attack. Senegal thrust forward. Popke! Sensational! Stellar! Supreme Senegal! Maybe in extra time they've produced the moment. And it's Popke with his third of the tournament. Senegal score their first ever goal in an African Cup of Nations final. And it is utterly outstanding. Mane inspired build-up. Popke finishes with aplomb, and Senegal lead as the Lions of Teranga roar loudest in Rabat.
What a strike. Look at this. The steal by Sadio Mane. This is a total complete